Okay, now that we just had a mini class on Pico question writing, even though you probably learned all that in research, it's never too bad to remember this stuff, right? Okay, so let's talk about the A-star model of knowledge. Um, so A-star model of knowledge: discovery, summary, translation, integration, evaluation. All right, so there's 5 stages of knowledge in a relative sequence, and it moves through several cycles. And you'll combine it with other knowledge and integrate it into practice. You're going to convert or provide a framework for systematically putting evidence-based practice process into.
The A-STAR model is an organizational framework for understanding knowledge transformation. The model uses a 5-point star to visually depict the transformation of new knowledge into best practice and outcomes. The first point of the model is the discovery phase or knowledge generating phase. The second point is evidence summary, which is summarized in a concise, usable statement. The third point is translation into action, which allows for immediate clinical use and ensures quality of care. The fourth point is integration into practice or evidence into action. Evidence-based practice strategies are incorporated into an organizational pattern. Strong leadership is needed during this phase. The fifth point involves examining the impact that evidence-based practice has on healthcare outcomes. This is evaluated by patient satisfaction and efficacy. The model was found applicable in 3 examples. The first showed evidence-based practice teaching strategies to increase NCLEX passing rates. The second, organizing and creating clinical guidelines for health practices development in adolescents. And third, promoting research and the utilization of the CNS role in evidence-based practice movements. The A-STAR model was used in implementing evidence-based practice teaching strategies, which ultimately improved NCLEX passing rates. Discovery of a positive relationship between strong social support and development of positive health practices was found. The A-STAR model was used to hasten a simulation of evidence-based practice and address barriers. Progress is impossible without change. The DMP is the ultimate professional to lead this change and transition to more evidence-based practice. Evidence-based practice is the key to providing quality care within our healthcare system.
All right, so that sums up the A-star model. So the next step, this talks about how, generating evidence from research, synthesizing the evidence, developing evidence-based clinical policies, applying the policies. Okay. So quality improvement process that utilizes a system to monitor and evaluate the quality and appropriateness of care based on evidence-based practice and research. All right, so aspects of quality improvement. So it's always an ongoing process. You're going to cycle through. The whole team collaborates across departments and systems, and you want clear aims, clear outcome measures, and results to be achieved in a process for implementing the change. And you, of course, want institutional support, because there's no point in going through all of this when no one's going to support you. So you want to use data to support all this. So you're going to need to understand information systems. It's system focused, not individual. And the practice process changes to meet guidelines and to see if the changes are working. So you're not developing new guidelines. You are practicing process change to meet guidelines and improve outcomes. All right, so question 3, 3 questions on quality improvement. So what are you trying to accomplish? How will we know a change is an improvement? And what changes can we make that will result in an improvement? So what do you want to change? How are you going to measure that change? And what do we have to do to make that change happen? So here's the PDSA model. It's the one, I'm sure most of you are going to use it for your poster board presentation. I don't blame you. It's probably the easiest and the most often used for clinical change. Even if you look at HRSA and JCO and CMS and all that, they mainly implement PDSAs, and it's a Deming model. So you're testing objectives, who will do what, you're going to predict outcomes. What happened? Did it work? You're going to analyze outcomes and summarize lessons learned, and then what modification needs to be made. and then you need a new plan. And the PDSA cycle repeats and repeats until some sort of practice change is met, or you figure out that it's not working and you need to move on, and you figure out if that needs to be implemented system-wide.